What's going on? We back, Goodfellas Sports TV. Y'all know what the business is. Mr. One Time for the one time we grinding. Salute to all the brothers and sisters holding us down, subscribing to the channel. Definitely appreciate you and yours. It was confirmed today, and we already knew it. Mikey Garcia did an interview on the Spanish network, Mexican network, said they was doing drug testing, and a lot of people don't know that Mikey and Errol is doing extensive VADA drug testing. He said that way before the fight was officially announced that they would do, VADA drug testing. And I don't hear, some of them whack channels and stuff of that nature saying that, oh, they doing VADA now. I don't hear none of them cleaning up their act and making those channels or people that have been saying, Errol was on this, Errol was on that, but it is what it is. They doing the VADA thing. Errol probably doing USADA and VADA again like he did with Kell Brook. So be it. They gonna try to find something else to nitpick at Errol about. All right, that's what it is, man. And I'm giving Errol full credit for this fight. But will people give Errol full credit? Well, all the Mexican people saying that Errol is this, Errol is that. He can't do this. Mikey gonna beat him and this and that. Watch how that tune change after the fight. You know what I'm saying? Well, Mikey took a risk and, he was just, Errol was just too big. It's all stuff we already knew before the fight. All this is what we knew before the fight. Everything they going to say after the fight, if it plays out how I believe it will play out, and you really never know in the hurt business, but if it plays out with Errol, knocking Mikey dick in the dirt, and getting up out of there quick, fast, in a hurry, people going to start, and the Mikey Garcia supporters, which is his black, white, Mexican, UK supporters, he got a lot of supporters. They going to start sounding rational now. They going to start sounding like they got some sense. Well, Errol was too big, and Errol was too strong, and he hit too hard, Mikey should have fought Lomachenko, this don't do nothing for Errol, or nothing. That's what you're going to start hearing. Let me tell you the thing about this fight right here, right? What people missing. People say, why does this fight make sense for Errol Spence? And people say, it's a lose-lose for Errol Spence. Not really. This is basically a fan grab for Errol Spence, all right? This is a popularity grab. Nothing more, nothing less. All right? And a money grab. He's trying to use Mikey Garcia's fan base in doing a brown and black fight, which is historically done well in the state of Texas and on the West Coast. He from Texas, Mikey's from the West Coast. That's the goal here. The goal here is to grow Errol Spence's legend, to grow Errol Spence's popularity at the expense of Mikey Garcia being Mexican. It's to exploit Mikey Garcia's and his Mexican fan base and to transfer it over to Errol Spence. Now people say, ain't Mexicans gonna hate Errol Spence for knocking out Mikey Garcia? They gonna hate Errol Spence, right? That's what they gonna do. They gonna hate Errol Spence. Or some of them might like Errol Spence. The majority of them probably going to start disliking and hating Errol Spence, right? But didn't Floyd Mayweather make a career and make hundreds and hundreds of $1 million off exploiting the hatred that the Mexican fan base had for him? No matter if it was Robert Guerrero, no matter if it was Argentine and Marcos Maidana, Oscar De La Hoya, Marquez, no matter how big or how small or how impossible the test seemed, Canelo Alvarez, Mexicans still pay to see Floyd Mayweather lose. The majority of them pay to see him lose, fight one of their countrymen. That's what it was. And when it came to Maidana, they still pay to see him lose, hoping Maidana can use his Mexican type of power style and beat Mayweather like he beat Broner. That's what it's all about. That's what this fight is about for Errol Spence. It's a popularity grab. You know how Floyd go over to Tokyo on New Year's Eve, and fight tension and get a money grab. This is a popularity grab for Errol Spence, He's trying to take Mikey fan base and take the Mexican fan base and put it on his back. May it be them hating him, long as they're going to pay to come see him. And that's what it's about. Same thing for Gervonta Tank Davis and Abner Mares. People say, I don't understand why he taking this fight. He fighting a fairly popular Mexican. It's to take the Mexican, fan base and to put it on to his fan base. People don't see it that way. It's expanding these guys' fan base while getting a good payday while doing it. We all know Gervonta Tank Davis is going to knock out Abner Mares. We all know Errol Spence is probably going to knock out Mikey Garcia. We know that. But the Mexican fan base, they believe otherwise. And once again, once this fight is all said and done, you know what I'm saying? When this fight is all said and done, Errol Spence is gonna be either, you know, beloved, hated by the Mexican fan base, but one thing is gonna put him in position to be talked about. His name gonna be in rotation. He's gonna be exposed to a totally different fan base that he hasn't been exposed to. And when you're exposed to a totally different fan base, when you finally cross over, he probably won't fully cross over, but this helped Terrence Crawford as well too. The bigger and the more popular Errol Spence is, when they fight, the better the victor goes the spoils for Terrence Crawford, right? If he beats Errol Spence. So Errol Spence is expanding his brand. He expanded it to New York. Now he's expanding it to Texas. Next stop is expanding it to Vegas, and then he sold it up. Ain't too many fighters got both coasts sold up. You know? Canelo's yet to do that, even though he's fighting Rocky Field in New York. But he got both coasts sold up if he complete the mission. And if he can get Sean Porter in Vegas, you know, after this, it's over with. You know, Errol Spence gonna be on his way to being a pay-per-view star. You know, but people don't understand that. People say, I don't understand, you know, what this fight does for Errol Spence. It's a popularity grab. They selling Mexican, brown versus black. You know? And, you know, they probably guesstimating that Errol Spence is gonna get hated from this. But the Mexican fan base is going to pay to see him continue to go on and fight again and again. You know? And that's the point. You know, the point is going over people's heads. Like Fred from Barbershop Conversation be saying, a lot of people be missing the major point of this. You know, they know what's going to happen to Mikey Garcia. You know, but it's money involved. And it's popularity involved. And it's popularity growth involved for Errol Spence. If you can't get Mayweather, you can't get Pacquiao, get the next best Mexican fighter you can find. Mikey Garcia. You can't get Canelo right now, get Mikey. You know, and this fight is going to be talked about. It's going to be promoted really, really well in Texas. And it's going to be, they're going to build it up right. And Errol Spence is going to do what he got to do. People going to start making sense. He either going to get a lot of fans off this fight or a lot of haters off this fight. But guess what? Them fans and them haters, they're going to continue to tune in to see what Errol Spence does next. You know, they already trying to say, oh, no VADA testing. I already knew it was going to be VADA testing. I told y'all when I talked about the Victor Conte video. Mikey said he was doing extensive VADA testing. So Mikey ain't no fool. And neither is Errol Spence. You know? But you know how it is. You know they're going to try to spin it. And like I said before, the Mikey Garcia supporters will try to talk like they got some sense after the fight. They want to talk all that yippee right now. When the fight ain't like it was going to happen, and Mikey said that Errol was negotiating with Errol Spence. Oh, my, Errol Spence is ducking. Errol Spence is ducking. You know, but what people got to remember is this in this video, man. Errol Spence, he didn't call for Mikey Garcia fight. He didn't ask for that fight. That's not a fight that he sought out. That's a fight that Mikey sought out. Mikey started that. Mikey asked for it, so Errol Spence didn't pay him no attention. And he would say, shoe fly, don't bother me. You know, guess what? Guess what he would have been? You know, oh, he ducking Mikey. It's a lose-lose situation. You know, for black fighters, but that's changing now. With black fighters starting to get fan base, starting to use social media, starting to promote themselves like what he did with Terrence Crawford and OKC, it's changing now. And a lot of the detractors and decabs and other fan bases see that. Now black fighters got fan base. Now they got support from their people. Now they have entities behind them and groups behind them that's promoting them. And people ain't ashamed or people don't feel gun-ho or gun shy to talk about their favorite fighter on threads and in public. Now it's changing. The people see it's changing. Of course, you're going to still have the raccoonery going on, you know, on YouTube from some black channels. So, of course, you're going to get some hatred channels. But at the end of the day, it's a wrap. Oh, them days is behind you. By the end of 2019, man, you know, them days behind you. Black fighters going to have full-fledged fan base. And they got to come to the black channels to get the real shit. And they already doing that. You know, disliking your video, but they listen to every video. Don't sub, they listen to every video. You know how it go, but hey, it's Goodfella Sports TV. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Appreciate Gary Benson for the donation. And Edwin for the donation as well. You can donate with the donation link in the description. Also, don't forget, we got a Facebook group. We're on Facebook with the like page. Also, we on Twitter. You can email there, and instrumental link is in the description. Y'all know what it is. We gone.